Hello, and welcome to your daily oracle reading for Thursday, August 20th, 2020. I'm Linda the Lightworker. I'm a shamanic practitioner, and I make these daily videos so we can all stay on a purpose-driven path, living one day at a time. So if this is your first time here, and if you want to find out more about me, all my info is down below in that diddly-do box. LindaTheLightWorker.com is my website, or you could email me directly, LindaTheLightWorker@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. All right, this is a general reading for all of us, especially during this time of COVID, so that we stay on a positive mental state, like on our healthy life purpose path. So today I'm working with the Gregory Scott Tarot. My regulars know this is a new deck that I've added to my rotation. I just love it. It should be released in the next couple days and available on Amazon. Links down below. Okay. Our first card is this King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords, the swords represent the air signs, and the air signs are Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And something that happens is that this king, as most of the kings of the air signs, this is true for all of those air signs, they are very scholarly. They work at having a linear knowledge, book knowledge, straightforward facts and ability to recall, and they make great attorneys, Geminis especially, making those arguments based on situations that have happened in the past, right? You hear me getting all tongue-tied trying to explain this, but you get that feeling of being caught up in that intellectual world. Now, here's the warning that comes with this card today is don't get caught up in the intellectual superiority. You know, the problem with over-exaggeration in this card, or when it's out of balance, is that we feel we will judge ourselves against others for whatever reason. It can be from the stupidest, pettiest. It could be how they park a car, and you start judging the way you park a car. You know, it could be over anything that you feel superior over. So the warning is, and the invitation here is, do you see how he's laid down that sword? When I see that, that's a symbol to resist, stop fighting. If there's any sort of mental, okay, for some of you too, I know that you get connected with your partner, or you have a way of connecting simply through thought, or you're having a dialogue with another person that could be hundreds or even literally thousands of miles away from you, because you're so in tune. I call it the coconut line. Like you can even hear what he would have said, or if this represented your father and how he would have dismissed or shown you how you didn't take care of your proper taxes for blah blah, whatever the story is that's coming up, right? That superiority of teaching you, schooling you, that's the shadow side of the card. So you want to stay out of that and feeling, and have that compassion and grace for all your hard work. Where's that hottie card of that hot guy yesterday, right? With the abs, the hard work that you've put in to get where you are. It's a mental game. Okay, our second card that comes with it, this is also in relationship to this King of Swords. Now this is the Six of Swords, and this is about, this is what happens if you get caught up in those dialogues based, let's say you're feeling superior to someone who, let's say you're having a political conversation, you're disagreeing with each other, and nobody's listening to you. It can turn into murky waters. This can happen in the workplace too. If you are feeling as if the way you're doing your job is better than somebody else's, like the ego can really pull a number on us and tell us these stories that we absolutely will believe in the moment, and it will create this kind of chaos. Gregory, now I always read the companion books that the authors write, because they have different intentions with each card or each image, because they're the ones who have created these cards. So their words are important. And one thing Gregory says is about you know, this being murky. And the way I interpret it is overthinking creates that doubt, right? And then unleashes the dragons, these demons. Once we get caught in that thought world of this and that, or what would so and so say about this and that, and then you get caught up and you're like, oh, and then that and this, and you know, I know it's not very clear, but you know, you get what I mean. It's like doing a big Mad Lib just to insert whatever drama it unfolds. It unleashes those demons up above, and they seem so bright with the full moon. You know, this is about it's about recognizing when you are in that murky water. Recognize it when your thoughts are feeling murked. I like that. How you feeling? I'm a little murked. Recognize it so that you're able to acknowledge it. And then, like anything else, when we're able to recognize it and put a face or a name on, oh, this is me over analyzing this situation of how I felt back when I worked for what, yada yada, whatever story. Insert drama. All right, our third card is this beautiful Ace of Cups. It's so bright. Let me dim my light here so you can get the glory of this. Look at all these beautiful colors in here. So now when we see this, this is an emotional sort of, I always call the Ace of Cups of diving into self-love. And what Gregory encourages is diving into that spiritual abundance. And I love that thought. So dive into your spiritual abundance. Recognize the wars you're fighting in your mind, or if you are slaying any demons, call on God, Spirit, the universe, your higher power, whatever words, your ancestors, call on an archangel, call on whom or whatever deity, or however you feel more at peace, so that you can feel the presence of God and come back into your alignment, recognizing that you are deepening your spiritual practice. When we turn it over, we deepen our practice. One thing I made recently was a God box. And a God box is, mine's glitter, and a God box is a box where you can write your letters or your fears or your concerns or your wishes or your wants, whatever kind of intimate conversation you might have with God. You write it down and then you turn it over to God, say a prayer, and put it in this magnificent box that holds all the wishes for God to come and collect whenever ready, or will just simply deliver, because once you put it in God's box, it's done. It's out of your hands. You've turned it over. So deepening that practice of connection with spirit to allow yourself to have that security, that spiritual security of trusting that there is a force greater than yourself out there, somehow orchestrating magnificent things to unfold. All right, our final card today comes from Colette Baron-Reid's beautiful Wisdom of the Oracle deck. And again, info down below in the doobly-doo. That's what my sister wants me to say, doobly-doo. She doesn't like diddly-doo, but whatever. She can doobly-doo on her own diddly-doo channel. Okay, this is the Between the Worlds card. So what does that mean, Between the Worlds? All of this whole process, I'm just grabbing these cards so you can see, this whole process of going through the dialogue, the superiority, the ego, calming it down, turning it over to God, puts you in the in-between world. And the in-between world is where the end of what was happening for you lives right before stepping into the new. So it literally is in the in-between space. And we can even say this more broadly for the COVID world that we're in right now. We are kind of out of that first phase, or we're coming out of that first phase and in a pause before we will increase or decrease, or who knows what will happen as we enter this next stage. But this is for you to recognize that you are in between worlds on your own path, stepping out of the past. You know, some of these demons, I call them, that get reawakened, these murky waters, as we say, that's old stuff. That's just old stuff that it doesn't serve you anymore. You've already slayed that dragon. So greeting it with this abundance of love and self-care, with turning it over to God. You know, that's what all the AA programs are about, is about turning it over to a higher power and the freedom that comes from that, so that you're able to be in this next place where you're poised. Yesterday we were just like waiting for this rebirth to happen. You're headed there. It's coming, but it's not here yet. It's coming though. All right, my dear, that's our reading for today. Oh, you know what? I know you can do it. You've been through so much, and you are paying so much attention to where your thoughts are. And listen, if you are having trouble to recognize where your thoughts are, then that's just an invitation for more meditation. So the more we're able to quiet our mind and step into that happy place and that peace between worlds where, excuse me, we wait for spirit to deliver all the universe has, all this beautiful stuff in store for us. So get ready. It's coming. All right, my dear. If you're one of my new subscribers, thank you so much for being here. Let me know how you're doing. Like, share, all that. I'm going to cough. I don't know how to edit yet. Okay, I love you. I'll see you next time.